Yo, what's happening? It's Kip. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm gonna be talking about consistency and discipline. When I first started, right, I thought consistency and discipline was the same thing until I realized it's not, right? So refresh, let's go back to when I was telling the first story, right? Back in 2014, I arrived at FCI Memphis, and I remember walking the track, right? There was this guy, he was like 65 years old. He was serving a life sentence, but he was in tremendous shape. He would walk the track and do muscle-ups. And I remember him telling me, like, youngster, I could tell you got a short period of time. I could tell you was a hustle on the streets and you didn't work out. Here's my advice to you. Start working out. Take care of your body while you're in here. Because your body is not like a used car, right? You can't put wear and tear on it and go trade it in at the car lot. He's like, I watch a lot of people health diminish while doing their time, right? And they go home and they're unhealthy. You should preserve your mind, your body, right? So I'm like, man, that set in, right? Taking advice from a life sentencer, and he was in good shape, better shape than I was at the time. I was like 24 years old. But fast forward, right? Remind you, I worked out with my first workout crew for 6 months. Then I transferred. And when I arrived to FCI Miami, you know, I was determined to challenge myself every prison I went to. And I got on the yard and I said, man, who got the toughest workout crew here? I want to work out with the toughest workout crew. My homies was telling me like, nah, you ain't built for that. You light skinned, you gonna quit, you gonna give up. I'm like, man, listen, point me to the shot caller of the toughest workout crew. They pointed at a guy named Wild Bill, right? I walked up to Wild Bill and I told Wild Bill, hey, I heard you got the toughest workout crew, I want to work out with you. He's like, youngster, where you transferring from? I said, FCI Memphis. He was like, did y'all have free weights? I was like, nah, we had Smith machines. He's like, this is a whole different ball game here, man. You're gonna drown, you can't swim with us. And I'm like, well, let me ride in the car. He's like, you're gonna jump out the windshield. So I laughed in his face. So I'm like, man, look, give me a chance, give me a chance. We gotta see if I can make it happen. I haven't quit yet because I haven't started. So I end up starting, right? It's like 150 guys just watching, right? They want me to quit because they anticipate me to quit because they watch so many guys commit to this workout crew and then quit, right? Because his name Wild Bill for a reason. So he had a repetition of making people quit or sending them to medical. And I remember I started working out with them. It was like 6 people in this crew. I was only stronger than one person when I started. And within a year's time, right, I became the second strongest. Wild Bill was the only one stronger than me. But that came from consistency, right? I committed to the toughest workout crew. I stayed consistent Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Right after lunch, I showed up, workout time, right? However, I lacked discipline outside the weight pile, outside the gym, right? Where vast majority of people lack discipline. They don't have discipline over food. What do I mean by that? They can't control their action when it comes to choosing food, right? So that means you lack self-discipline. I lack self-discipline. So I was working out about 2 years and I became discouraged. Like nobody in my workout crew had abs. And I'm like, man, they can't give me advice on nutrition because they lack discipline in that area. However, they're consistent, but lack discipline when it comes to eating. And you know why? A lot of people start their fitness journey over every January 1st. I never understood who started this trend of starting your fitness journey January 1st, right? Vast majority of people quit within 2 months. Who started that trend? I don't know. But your body doesn't know what year or what month it is, right? So if disease want to come on your body, it's going to happen January 5th, January 6th, June, July, it doesn't matter. So when I seen people getting sick, getting diagnosed with colon cancer, right? It was like God sent these people to me to tell me their story, right? I met a guy, he served like 17 years. He had like 5 or 6 years left, right? He ended up getting compassionate release because he was diagnosed with colon cancer. But he came up to me one day. I never even talked to him. His name was Opalaka, right? And he was like, youngster, I see you working out, Wild Bill, but you're not eating healthy. If I could redo my time and go back to when I was your age, I would change my diet. So I was eating I used to make like a gumbo. I used to mix a beef pack, pork pack, and a turkey pack, cut up potatoes and rice, and I used to eat it after I left, right? I'm like, man, this protein. He was like, I'll tell you, next time I see you, I'll tell you the reason why I cleaned up my diet, but it was too late. So I seen him the next day, man, and he told me he had compassionate release. However, it was compassionate release because he got bad news that he was diagnosed with colon cancer. He ended up dying 2 months later after he was released, right? 2016, I committed to change my diet. I'm like, man, listen, I gotta have self-discipline over my choices. I can't be weak. I can't have a weak mindset knowing I wanna change, evolve, and become a better person, the best version of myself. I gotta have discipline over my actions, over my choices, right? So I knew I had to evolve and develop self-discipline while in prison in order for me to face the biggest obstacle of my life, getting out of prison and staying out of trouble, right? Being able to say no, being able to, in the heat of the moment, make the right decision, right? So a lot of people that start their fitness journey, they sabotage their fitness journey because they can't make the right decision for breakfast. They can't make the right decision for their snack. They can't make the right decision for their lunch and dinner. They make the bad decision, the unhealthy food, because they're eating for pleasure. They're eating because either they're depressed or they're an emotional eater, right? I became an emotional eater while I was in prison. I was depressed. I was at my lowest. Again, I didn't have a coping mechanism, right? So I was drinking sodas. I was drinking like six sodas a day. And I laid in my rack, right? And I soul searched, okay, what areas am I lacking in? I knew I didn't have self-discipline, but I had consistency. Again, I showed up every day, right? So I realized, okay, I'm addicted to carbs. I'm addicted to sugar. That's a bad combination. So that's why my body fat percentage is stuck. I was stuck around like 18, 20%. But I wanted abs so bad, I'm like, okay, I'm going to clean up my diet and figure out how I can wean myself off the sodas, drink more water, figure out what time of the day I crave sugar, and I'm going to give myself fruit instead of a honey bun or instead of a sneaker bar, right? And I'm going to find a granola bar that has less than 10 grams of sugar. So I dropped all my bad habits. First, I wrote on a piece of paper what my bad habits were, right? I identified my bad habits and I replaced it with good habits. Then over time, you know, they say 3 weeks, 21 days, you can develop a good habit and you can drop a bad habit. But that takes consistency, and over time, consistency, you develop discipline, right? So they go hand in hand. So I end up, 2016, I changed my diet to pollo pescatarian, right? I cut out red meat because it's scientifically proven, and it's proven that it's linked to colon cancer and many other cancers as well. I met a few guys that end up catching colon cancer. That was an eye-opener for me, you know what I mean? We're all eating the same foods, the same diet. So I was very observant when it came to fitness and to people's health in there. I seen all these people walking the pill car. It's like people my age, right? I was still in my 20s. I'm seeing guys, diabetics. And that was one of my worst fears, to die in prison and to die from my choice, right? I have a choice of what food I want to consume. So I test myself, became a pollo pescatarian, then I test myself to the next level, became a pescatarian. So it's much harder to stick to a strict diet in there because they give you a lot of unhealthy foods, right? So we only have so many options, right, to choose from. So for me to eat the same foods over and over, I kind of like programmed my mind and became a robot. Like, I'm eating for health, I'm not eating for taste. When I put that in my mind, my body started to change, right? Then I incorporated HIIT workouts, right? High intense workouts. All the exercises I hated, like burpees, sprints, exercises that increase my heart rate that I used to run from, I'm like, okay, I'm going to attack these exercises because I know the benefit it's going to give me, right? I used to be mad with the homies when they used to call me out to do burpees because they knew that was my weakness. Like, my cardio level wasn't up to par, but I could lift weights. My whole workout crew, they had a bulky look. I wanted to be lean. I wanted a six-pack, right? So when I cleaned up my diet and incorporated the HIIT workouts, it was a game changer for me. But listen, it takes discipline, consistency, and discipline. Commitment, consistency, discipline. Those three, right? If you need help with your workout program or your meal plan, listen, click the link. I have one-on-one online coaching, which includes meal plan, custom meal plan, tailored for your desired goal, custom workout plan, tailored for your desired goal, right? One-on-one open communication inside the app with me and weekly check-ins. Also, I have virtual workout groups, right? So you can commit, pay a monthly fee, and you can work out with me and everybody else, and we're gonna hold you accountable, and we're gonna give you diet suggestions and a grocery list as well. But most importantly, you get to feel that energy, and we work out as a group the same way I worked out as a group with the group while I was in prison. They held me accountable, but then eventually, you know, I graduated. I advanced myself to the level where I ran the crews. I became a leader. You can become a leader in your life. You can conquer whatever challenges, bad habits that you're struggling with. I can help you. Make sure you click that link and leave a comment. Let me know what type of videos you guys want to see, and make sure you subscribe. Let's get it.